move on to Q12 here at Church Fenton. Should be a good one without the hindrance of Mr. Kidd. 11 plays in the qualifying round. 9 of you, I believe, will go through to the first round proper. 3 right answers gets you through.
Do you lose a point for interruption?
Yeah.
Zeros this morning. 2 points for a right answer. 1 point for an incorrect interruption. The first 9 people to get 6 points, i.e. 3 correct answers,
yes, thanks,
will go through to the first round proper. If we're all ready, question number 1. A favourite of Hannibal Lecter, by what name are fava beans known in the UK? Debs?
Lima beans?
Incorrect. No one? Tony?
Haricot?
No. Lee?
Lima beans?
No. Drax?
Butter beans?
No. Norman?
Raw beans.
Raw beans. Right answer. Question number 2. Who came second to Jack the Ripper in a 2006 poll by the BBC History magazine to find the worst Briton of all time? The man in question died in 11's Debs.
Genghis Khan.
Incorrect. The man in question died in 1170. Lee.
Thomas Becket.
Thomas Becket is correct. Your next question. What 5-letter name is given in film and TV to the art of applying sound effects to specific actions? Drax.
Foley.
Foley is the right answer. Your next question. Which aircraft was always designated as Speedbird by air traffic controllers? Ashton.
British Airways Concorde.
Concorde is correct. Your next question. A name also familiar to fans of 20th century fantasy fiction. A creature described as crepuscular.
Like dusk. Between dusk.
I will give it you. The answer I was looking for was twilight.
Twilight, yeah.
Yeah, but dusk would probably cover the multitude of things. Your next question. Which game show host was awarded the honorary title Mayor of Wetwang? Will.
Richard Whiteley.
Richard Twice Nightly. Whiteley.
Twice Nightly.
Your next question. Which actor from the original cast of Star Trek ran unsuccessfully for a seat on the Los Angeles City Council in 1972? He also began to campaign to become a California State Assemblyman in 1980, but was forced to withdraw after Ashton.
Takai.
George Takai is correct. An opponent claimed he was getting an unfair advantage due to repeats of Star Trek being shown on local TV. Your next question. The author of several books on Caribbean cooking. Which popular female celebrity chef? Rhodes.
Rusty Lee.
Rusty Lee has been an unsuccessful UKIP candidate at 2 elections. Your next question. What were novelty, perseverance, Sampere, Simon?
They were the trains at the locomotives at the
Locomotives at the Rainhill Triangles is the right answer. Which UK #1 single for Diana Ross shares its name with Tony?
I'm still waiting.
Incorrect.
I only had 2, so.
Shares its title with a concept postulated by Debs.
Chain reaction?
Chain reaction. 50-50. Question. I don't know what we're on with. What's now? Which chocolate sweets, first made in 1937, were originally called energy balls and had a type Lee?
Maltesers.
Maltesers. Which footwear designer is famous for producing shoes with shiny red lacquered sole? Please.
Louboutin.
Louboutin. With a population of around 2.1 million people, which capital city in the Americas has 3 main harbours called Marimelena, Guanabacoa and Atares? Please.
Santiago.
Incorrect. Will.
Lima.
No. Lee.
Caracas.
No. Drax.
Montevideo.
No. Tony.
Buenos Aires.
No. Ashton.
Panama City.
No. Preston.
Santiago.
No. Simon.
Havana.
Havana is the right answer.
Good that nobody said Quito.
Yeah. Your next question. What does the 22nd Amendment to the US Constitution, ratified in 1951, limit? Norman.
Presidency to 2 terms.
Presidential term for 2 is the right answer. Your next question. Based on a novel by Sarah Waters, it starred Rachel Sterling and Keely Hawes, which serialised TV drama had a title that was supposedly a lesbian slang term for oral sex. Timon.
Tipping the velvet.
Tipping the velvet. Is
Simon has qualified.
Your next one. Which Manchester United goalkeeper supposedly dislocated his jaw on the field while shouting so loudly at Ashton? Alex Stepney is the right answer. Ashton qualifies as well.
Well, there you get a massive clap there.
Your next question. The 1999 film 10 Things I Hate About You, starring Leeds.
Taming of the Shrew.
It's based on which Shakespeare play in The Taming of the Shrew?
Leeds has got
Your next one. In the play and film Hairspray, which female character, Tony,
Edna Turnblad.
Edna Turnblad, is always played in drag? The right answer. Your next question. Which famous piece of music is based on a poem called The Defence of Fort Henry? Tony,
It's the national anthem. Star Spangled Banner.
is the right answer. Which word, originally an Australian surfer's cry when riding a wave, later became Debs?
Billabong.
Incorrect.
Oh.
Later became the catchphrase of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Preston.
Oh, who's Basha? No.
No.
Question over.
Yeah, question over. Next one. Tony.
Cowabunga.
Bunga.
No. No. Rhodes.
Capel.
No. Drax was next.
Cowabunga.
Cowabunga.
That's an anagram on it. Can't believe that came out.
Your next one. Which comedy actor died in Spain in 1998? Go on. Roy Kinnear. Even though that year wrong, it was 1988. But yeah.
88.
Steve Rhodes, correct. Roy Kinnear. Your next one. Shot mainly on location at Martha's Vineyard in Massachusetts. Which 1970s film had the original title Amity? Lee.
Jaws.
Jaws.
Lee has qualified.
Lee qualifies.
5 spaces left.
Your next one. Which fictional character attended Fettes College in Edinburgh after being expelled from Eton following Tony?
James Bond.
James Bond. Right answer. Carol Ann Susie died of cancer in 2014. In which US sitcom did she play a rarely seen Debs?
Big Bang Theory.
The Big Bang Theory.
Mrs. Wallace.
She was Mrs. Wallace is the right answer. Under what name did Dr. Brooke Magnanti write Tony?
Belle. She's Belle. Belle de Jour.
Belle de Jour is the right
Lee
answer.
has qualified. 4 spots remaining.
John Prescott was photographed at Dorneywood during the summer of 2000. Preston.
Croquet. Playing croquet.
Playing which sport while he was supposed to be running the country? It was croquet. Your next question. The most searched for image in the history of Google involves Justin Timberlake and which other singer? Andrew?
Janet Jackson.
No, it's Norman. It was Janet Jackson. So I looked over there.
Norman has qualified.
Norman's qualified. Your next question. The Church of England ordains its first female priests. South Africa rejoins the Commonwealth. Preston.
1990s.
Prompt.
1994.
Is the right answer. Generous on the prompt, I thought.
Yeah, it was actually, to be fair. It was 94. I was looking for the decade, I thought.
Your next one. Yes, a secret man is an anagram of which controversial, hyperandrogynous South African 800-metre runner? Will.
No, I was going to say Pistorius, but it's not.
No. Preston.
Cosmeta.
No. Rhodes.
Casterson.
Casterson.
Rhodes qualified.
4 people left, 2 spaces remaining.
Which company is the ultimate parent company of Bugatti, manufacturer of one of the world's fastest production cars, the Veyron? Preston.
Lamborghini.
Incorrect. Drax.
VW.
Volkswagen is the right answer.
Drax has qualified.
Drax qualified.
1 space
scores? Are we,
Lily's on 2, Preston's on 4, and Debs is on 2.
Your next question. Which monthly published adult magazine that was launched in 1966 shares its name with a car model first produced in 1976 by Ford?
Fiesta.
Fiesta is
Yes,
the right. How did you know that?
Preston's qualified.
Preston is qualified. We have 6 questions left, so that's perfect.
How many were there altogether?
Sorry?
They don't count to your overall total as well, and all you get to the decade. Brilliant.
Yeah, 34.
Brilliant. Good set, yeah.
Yeah.
Shall I fill that out, mate?
12 players for 12 minutes of questions. Don't be in the bottom 4 when the 12 minutes are up, that means you will be eliminated.
You lose half your points if you buzz incorrect.
2 points for a correct answer. In the event of an incorrect interruption this time, you lose half of your overall total score. If we're all ready, start the clock. What was the Japanese cartoon series Science Ninja Team Getchaman renamed when it was shown on, please?
Digimon?
Incorrect. Not the way, when it was shown on British and US television. Rose? Incorrect. Preston?
Monkey.
No. Curtis?
Spirited Away?
No. Lee?
Pokemon.
No. Simon?
I was watching the Turtles, so...
No. Kevin?
What am I?
No. It is Battle of the Planets.
Oh, just turn that
In
camera.
2012, Forbes announced that Sarah Blakely was the youngest ever self-made billionaire. Which underwear product helped her make her fortune? Curtis?
Spanx.
Spanx is the right answer.
What's Spanx?
So like a...
Suck your bits in underwear. Your next question. The name Paco, often used in Spanish-speaking countries, is a diminutive form of which forename? Kid?
Peter.
No. Tony?
Pablo.
No. Curtis?
Pedro?
No. Ashton?
Jacob.
No. Lees?
Paul.
Simon?
Patricio?
Rhodes?
Pascal.
Preston?
Philip.
Norman?
It's not Norman.
No. Drax?
Miguel.
Kevin?
Pablo?
Lee?
William.
So I'll get Francisco.
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 Where's the P?
Founded in 1803 by Napoleon Bonaparte, the French Military Academy is the equivalent of Sandhurst.
Tony.
Tony?
Paraguay.
No. Which French Military Academy is the equivalent of Sandhurst in the UK? No. Move on quickly. It's Sancerre. Your next one. First used by Robert McClory in 1992. What term is used to describe a large church which has a large aspect of entertainment, consumerism, or commercialism, which obscures Ashton?
Happy clappy.
No. Which obscures its Curtis?
Mega church?
No. Which obscures its religious aspects? No. Rose?
Super church.
No. We'll move on. It's a McChurch.
Curtis shouldn't be on mine as well, by the way.
It should not be on.
He's not. Oh, that's
What it potentially loses.
Oh, right, sorry.
Sharing its name with a town in northern Sicily, a 1950 film by Roberto Rossellini and the villain of a 1940 Disney classic, which American exact leads?
Stromboli.
Stromboli. Correct. In 2010, a man in Barnsley was charged under the Locomotive Act of 1865 for riding what on the pavement? Ashton. No. Kid.
One of the carriages that's
Incorrect.
disabled people.
Simon.
Motorised scooter?
No. The vehicle takes its name from the Italian for follows and in English the term Lee.
Segways.
Segways, the right answer. Yeah, Lee. Home to around 160 volcanoes, many of which are included in an area which is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Which 1,250 kilometre long peninsula on the Russian Far East? Simon.
Kamchatka?
That's correct.
You play Risk, you know what it is.
What name linked to a suburb of Los Angeles listed by the FBI as the 18th most dangerous place in the USA? Kid?
Compton?
Compton is correct. With a name derived from the Latin root meaning steerable, what name is given to Tony?
Dirigible.
Dirigible is correct. In 1790, Samuel Hopkins invented a process for extracting potash from other materials for use in fertilisers. For this invention, George Washington granted the first what? Tony?
Patent.
Patent is correct.
Just under 8 minutes now.
With the help of digital imagery, which comedian and TV personality appeared in TV advertisements in 2007 promoting prostate cancer at Ashton? Bob Monkhouse is correct. At the 2013 BAFTA Awards, she was awarded an honorary BAFTA in support of the UK film industry. At the same award, she was given the honorary title as Most Memorable Bond Girl. Kevin? No. Preston?
On the Blackman?
No. Even though Curtis? No. Even though.
Oh, my press.
Steve?
It's the freaking Queen.
It's the Queen. Retired career in the 007 to this with 36 performances.
Even though gave it away.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Your next question. One personified panic or fear, the other personified terror or dread. Lees?
Phobos and Deimos.
Phobos and Deimos is correct. Your next question. What is the commonly used term for drugs which control arrhythmia and hypertension? The first of which, Lee, sorry.
Beta block.
Beta blockers is correct. In The Simpsons, what was the secret ingredient of the cocktail known as the Flaming Moe? Mike Lees?
Bollocks. Alcohol, no.
I don't know much about the Simpsons.
Alcohol's
She was
wrong.
not
Kid?
Moe's armpit sweat.
No. Curtis? No. Simon?
Nuclear waste.
No.
Good guess.
Kevin?
Volcanic ash.
No. Everybody? No, we'll move on. Cough syrup.
Cough syrup.
What name is given to the celebration on the 25th of May each year, celebrating the life of sci-fi author Doug Ashton?
Towel Day.
Towel Day was this week.
6 minutes to go.
In the title of Colin Dexter's Inspector Morse novels, where did the last bus, Tony?
Woodstock.
Last bus to Woodstock is correct.
Last bus.
Fonseca in Ecuador, Lagman in Uzbekistan, Posintang in Korea, Solyanka in Russia, Hotchpotch from Belgium, and Cutlee.
Soup.
They're all soups. Which major sporting event takes place each year in September at an estate on the southern edge of Stamford in Ashton?
Burley Horse Trials.
Burley Horse Trials is correct. Dying in 2008, Dr. Frederick Bauer requested that some of his ashes be buried in his proudest achievement. This is which iconic food container that he patented in 1970, which is still sold in millions today. Preston?
Tupperware?
Incorrect. Drax?
Lock and lock.
No. Kevin?
I'm going to say Tupperware.
No. Decorated with a stylish mustachio.
Oh, sorry, I thought you finished. That's why I pressed. So I've got to go for a freezer box.
No. Simon?
Pringles
The
tube.
Pringles tube.
Oh, great. That's a good answer, moustache. It's a good question, good answer.
Who coined the 60s counterculture slogan, turn on, tune in, Ashton?
Leary.
Timothy Leary is correct. Dying in 2008, this man was the son of an Eton housemaster and was descended from a namesake gunpowder plotter. In 1956, his Bad Penny Blues became the first jazz... Tony?
Humphrey Littleton.
Humphrey Littleton is correct. Both answers required. Chemical elements 92 and 93 are named after adjacent planets in our Kid.
Uranium, Neptunium.
Correct.
4 minutes to go.
Who played against disgraced politician John Stonehouse in the final of the 1978 Ashton?
Ian Brady.
Ian Brady.
Bloody hell.
Final of the 1978 Wormwood Scrubs Chess. Stonehouse. What was the name of the mathematician who, in 1985, graduated with a first-class honours degree from Oxford at the age of 13? Curtis.
Lawrence.
Correct, Ruth Lawrence. Son of Japanese parents, what was the name of the judge who presided over the O.J. Simpson kid?
Ito.
Lance Ito is correct. Steve Kidd. Who was the Conservative MP for Wolverhampton South West of 19... Simon.
Enoch Powell.
Powell, correct.
No, I don't want it.
I'm not going to interrupt it. So
Complete the title of this 1970s book by Robert M. Percy, Zen Kid.
The art of motorcycle maintenance.
Is correct. Removed in 2014, the Augusta National Golf Course featured a tree dedicated... Kid?
Eisenhower.
Is correct. A dressing gown, a fishing rod, some lager and a box of Preston
Roll malt.
Yes.
are the items which Paul Gascoigne
Roll malt.
brought to
Paul
whom
Gascoigne.
was round mud.
Get in there.
Oh, I worked on the
What,
case.
Gascoigne?
George and James Lovelace, Thomas and John Tony.
Topple matters.
Are the tall couple martyrs. Now an ordained priest and Radio 2 broadcaster, who along roads?
Richard Coles.
Richard Coles was a member of the Communards. Which surname is shared by a Test cricketer born in Barbados in 1952 and the actress who plays Sydney Bristow in the TV series Alias? Tony?
Richards.
No. Rhodes?
Lloyd.
No. Curtis?
Cybers.
No. Simon?
Richardson.
No. Lee?
Haynes.
No. Preston?
Holding.
No. Please?
Lloyd.
No. Ashton?
Greenwich.
No. Who else? Move it on.
Will's got it.
Kevin?
Haynes.
No.
Let Will have it.
Hang on.
Are we all done?
Are we all
We're
done?
all done, yeah, well, I'm saying we're all
Will?
done. Will?
Garner.
Garner.
Get down, big judge.
He's back in. Norman, you're out.
1.5 minutes left.
What's the highest three dart score you can get without hitting a treble? Rhodes? Incorrect. Simon? 150. 150.
3 balls, yeah.
Oslo would be 4, London would be 7, Tokyo would be 12, Rio de Janeiro 20, and Reykjavik a massive 30 points. What are you talking about? Simon?
Scrabble.
Scores in Scrabble.
1 minute left.
Francisco Schettino found infamy in 2012 as the captain of which vessel? Norman?
Costa Concordia.
Costa Concordia is correct. Which 2012 Olympic venue hosted the handball competition? No, Preston?
Oh, the tube, no.
No.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
And the fencing portion of the modern pentathlon?
Oh, I thought.
Kevin? No.
Yeah.
Ashton?
Accelerator.
No. Tony?
Forgot what I was going to say now.
Curtis?
Soapbox.
No. Alright, copper box.
It's not what I was
20
going to say.
seconds.
The naval battle of Navarino took place off the waters of which modern day country? Norman?
Turkey.
No. Tony?
Greece.
Yes. To which fictitious literary character was Sir Miss Mary Morstan married? Tony?
Watson.
Watson's correct.
Oh God.
3 seconds.
Last question. In the UK parliamentary elections, which constituency has by far the most electors with approximately 110? Simon?
Isle of Wight.
Yeah.
Isle of Wight is the right answer.
Fucking hell, I fucked it up.
So we've got a playoff, a one-question playoff between Rhodes and Norman. We're going to say that if you interrupt and you're incorrect, you out yourself. You're out of the competition.
Which is the only Belgian city to have hosted the Summer Olympics, doing so in
Sure.
Rhodes?
Antwerp.
Antwerp.
Way! What knows about the second round? Are we good to go on it? Are you familiar with it? Great set.
The next round.
Yeah.
8 people in play. This is the 6-5-4-3-2-1 round by any other name. If you get the question right, depending on how quickly you answer it, you can get a maximum of 6 points down to 1 point. If you get the question wrong on an interruption, you will lose the appropriate number of points, however far we are into the question. Starting then with question number 1 for 6 points. First seen on British TV screens in 1983, it ran for 40 episodes. For 5 points, it included early appearances for Denise Welch in her only her second acting role. And for 4 points, an appearance by a young Ray Winston as army deserter Kid.
I'll be saying that.
Habits and Pets is the right answer. 4 points. Question number 2. With a population of around 4.5 million people, this city has the wonderfully named suburbs such as Ivanhoe, Balaclava and Kangaroo Ground. For 5 points. Founded in 1835 by free settlers from Van Diemen's Land. For 4 points. It was named in honour of the title held by William Lamb and has been named Tony.
Melbourne.
Melbourne is the right answer.
Move the camera away from us too.
Question number 3 for 6 points. What girl's name is derived from the longest river in Great Britain? For 5 points. The name is also the name of an eponymous film character played by Julia Ormond in A Kid.
Shannon.
Incorrect. -5.
Have you got an arm action for that? Great Britain.
The name of an eponymous film character played by Julia Ormond in a 1990s film. This film was a remake of a 1954 film which starred Audrey Hepburn. Tony.
Sabrina.
Sabrina's correct for 4 points.
Don't touch your buzzer, mate, you're free.
Your next question.
Help yourself, Mike. Can't.
Which three-letter word is mentioned in the title of the second and final chart hit for Rednecks? For 5 points. It is also the name of a privately owned island in Nova Scotia, which is reputed to be the site of a money pit. For 4 points. This word is also mentioned in the title of a public holiday celebrated on the 29th of May. For 3 points. Gabriel, a character from Far in the Madding Crowd, has this kid.
Oak.
Oak is correct. Your next question, for 6 points. A Greater Manchester parliamentary constituency which was abolished in 2010. 5 points. The West Virginian location of a 2014 mining disaster. For 4 points. An abbreviated name for a book of the Hebrew Bible. For 3 points. A freckled female in a 1968 number 1. Tony.
Jennifer Eccles.
Prompt.
I was in Needle in the Pink, but that was the name.
I'm pressed.
-3 for Tony, yeah. Simon.
Eccles.
Eccles is the right answer.
Simon's 4. But so far,
Damn, I didn't
The
realise
rest of
it.
it-
I've got
The
it.
rest of it's not to do with Jennifer Eccles.
Tony's on 5, Simon's 3, Steve Kidd's 2, everyone else here to start.
Next question. An 8-time Winter Olympic medalist from the USA. That's for 6 points. For 5 points, the 2017 Swiss entrant in the Eurovision Song Contest. For 4 points, a brand of Lynx deodorant released in 1998 but discontinued in 2004. For 3 points, a TV character played by both Richard Hatch and Jamie Bamber. For 2 points, a concert venue in Hammersmith. And for 1 point, Ashton. Apollo is the right answer. Yeah.
Good answer.
Is that any more?
So what
Two.
question
I've
was it?
just said and for 1 point. So.
What question
You
was
can
it?
give him the 2 there.
I'll give him the 2.
If you like.
Right,
Give him an extra.
So I want to take that 2 off, 1 off, and then take 2.
So what question
Okay.
was
You
it?
are different there.
Right.
What question were you taking?
That was question number 6.
6.
Question number 7. According to the World Economic Forum, this Asian country is the most technology-ready nation on earth. For 5 points, almost all of its 5.6 million residents are bilingual. For 4 points, since gaining independence in 1965, the country has grown in size by 23%, largely by using the process of reclaiming land from previously aquatic areas. For 3 points,
Oh, Simon's buzzed.
We'll go with Singapore.
Singapore, with the 4 points answer,
Oh, I was
only 3.
thinking that's a good
4
answer.
points.
Straight answer.
So Simon's on now 7, Tony's 5, Kidd's 2, Ashton's 2, everyone else here to start.
Next question. A treacherous mountain ascent in Grand Teton, that's for 6 points. For 5 points, an event in the ITV game show Gladiators. For 4 points, a Holy game show hosted by a Strictly Come Dancing professional. For 3 points, Indian cricketer Rahul Dravid. For 2 points, Rhodes. The Wall. Yeah.
Singing Hole in the Wall. Bit of a message.
A 300-mile northern border of the Seven Kingdoms, and a Pink Floyd album, of course. Next question, question number 9. You're looking for an actor who, for 6 points, was born in Newmarket, Ontario in 1950. His mother was of Polish and Ukrainian descent. For 5 points, his first film role was an uncredited part in a 1973 film called Class of 44. For 4 points, he appears in the video for the Ray Parker Jr. song Ghostbusters, but does not appear in the film. The role he was originally offered went to his close friend Rick Moranis. For 3 points, alongside Wayne Gretzky, he was the co-owner of the Toronto Argonauts Canadian football team. For 2 points, his final completed film prior to his death in 1994 was Kid.
John Candy.
John Candy is correct.
Who was on John Candy about 5 points?
Question 10. You're looking for a number which, for 6 points, in binary is 1000101. For 5 points, on a standard scientific calculator, this is the highest factorial which can be calculated without the return of an error message. For 4 points, the atomic number of thulium is this answer. For 3 points, an unorthodox bingo call for this number is dinner for 2 with a terrible view. For 2 points, when Bill and Ted meet their future selves, this is the number they're both thinking of. For 1 point, in French it is 69. Curtis.
69.
69 is the right answer.
I have that off the binary numbers, but you go for it.
Not quite there yet, Chris.
2 questions to go. For 6 points, a performer who regularly collaborated with Bob Monkhouse in the 1950s and 60s. For 5 points, a singer who sounds like he should have been born on February the 14th. 4 points, the menthol member of Ken Dodd's Diddy Men. For 3 points, Rose.
Valentine.
Incorrect.
Kid.
Minus 3. Kid. Dickie is the right answer. Dickie Henderson, Dickie Valentine, Dickie Mint was going to be your next one, Dickie Bird, Dickie Davis and a Dickie Bow.
So,
Who claps there?
So Simon Kidd and Tony are through. Those such buzzers.
1 question to
so
go.
Simon's on 7, Kid's on 7, Tony 5, Ashton 2, Curtis 1, Roger was on 3, was now on 0, Lee is on 0, and Lee's on 0.
So 4 people could just, 5 people are in the
Everyone's
mix.
given a chance.
Yeah. I mean, 4 people have just such a realistic chance of this, don't they?
Final question then. For 6 points, a tree species with the Latin name Eucalyptus largiflorens. For 5 points, a Marvel Comics character whose real name is Garabed Bashur. For 4 points, 3 novels all with the same name by Amos Oz, Michael Connolly and Nick Walker. For 3 points, the nickname of the nuclear football held by the President of the USA. For 2 points, an Italian techno and house band whose biggest hit was Ride on Time, Ashton. And for 1 point, the informal name of an aircraft data recorder, all black box, 2 points for Ashton. End of that round.
Don't tell me stand, please.
So, first place, well, joint first place at the end of that round, we're both through, Simon and Steve Kidd. 3rd place and also through Tony. And 4th place and also through is Ashton.
Right then, Church Fenton final of Q12. The rules are 2 points for a correct answer, put it away. 2 points for a correct answer, lose a life for your incorrect interruption. Everybody gets 3 lives. Basically, first person to get 12 questions right is the winner. The last question, everything rolls on from the previous question. Last question Michael had was about basketball. So with that in mind, question number 1, you're in play. The Nerducks were the villains in which 1990s Ashton.
Space Jam.
It is Space Jam. Well done.
I knew that time.
Your answer is Space Jam. Next question. The Bedfordshire clanger is similar in design to which other traditional pastry? Ashton.
Cornish pasty.
The Cornish pasty, differing that one end has jam in to serve as dessert. Moving on from Cornish pasty. Born in Mortonstow, Cornwall in 1941, he's a six-time British Open champion in his chosen sport. His son Joey is also a professional sportsman in the same event. He defeated players such as Aftab Jawad, A.A. Abutaleb and Jeff Hunt to win his ranking titles. Tony?
Squash. Yes.
No. Who is this British squash player given the title Mr. Squash? Simon.
Jonah Barrington.
Jonah Barrington is correct. No, it was a tie actually, yeah.
100%.
It was a tie. Okay, it was a tie with one each. In the title of his first chart hit, at number 16 in May 1980, singer Jonah Louis explained that he could always be found
In the kitchen at parties.
in the kitchen at parties. Is the right answer.
Good song.
Moving on. In the classic board game Cluedo, the kitchen is linked to which other corner room via a secret passage? Any question? Kid?
Library.
Incorrect. Tony?
Conservatory.
Incorrect. Ashton?
Study.
Study is the right answer.
We might as well go on with Ashton.
Mind games.
Your next one. The 1887 Sherlock Holmes novel Study in Scarlet takes the detective to Salt Lake City, where he encounters a group of Mormons led by the man who was the second president of the Church of Latter-day Saints. Tony?
Brigham Young.
Having the initials BY, it was Brigham Young. Your next one, moving on from Brigham Young. Set in 1937, the film Mighty Joe Young features a scene. Kid?
Griller.
Incorrect. Features a scene where the giant gorilla was seen in a boxing match. Born in 1906 in Sequals, Italy. Tony?
He fought Primo Carnera.
Primo Carnera is the right answer. Moving on from Primo Carnera. Born in 1919 in Turin, Italy, Primo Levi's novel, If This Is a Man, told the story of his year spent in which infamous concentration camp? Tony?
Auschwitz.
Is correct. The gates at the Auschwitz concentration camp bore the slogan, Ashton.
Arbeit macht frei.
Is correct. I was looking for the English translation, but I would have accepted the German before I said it. The English translation being, work will set you free. Moving on from work will set you free. Released in December 1995, it was an undiscovered track and used on the... Kid?
I'm going to go for Sting.
Incorrect.
One
No,
left
no,
remaining.
One left.
See where I was coming from, can't you, Tom?
It was an undiscovered track and used on their anthology album. Free as a Bird reached number 2 in the UK singles chart. Ashton, for the Beatles. Your next question. Rolling off the production line in July 2003, the final VW Beetle was built in Puebla, in which Central America? Simon?
Mexico.
Mexico is the right answer.
So far, Simon's on 3, Steve's on 1, Tony 8, and Ashton 10.
Moving on from Mexico. At the 1968 Mexico Olympics, Peter Norman won a silver medal in that. Tony?
It was in the 200 metres.
Prompt.
He was between the Black Power side, Peter Smith and Carlos.
Yes, Tommy Smith and John Carlos. Moving on from Tommy Smith and John Carlos. In World War I, English soldiers were nicknamed Tommies. What was Tommy's supposed?
Atkins.
Atkins is correct. First inspired by a research paper in the Journal of American Medical Association, the Atkins diet involves a dramatic reduction in which food? Tony?
It's meat proteins.
Incorrect. Simon?
It's a reduction in
It
carbohydrates.
is a reduction of carbohydrates.
Both Steve and Tony now only have 1 life left.
No carbs before marbs was a phrase commonly heard on which scripted reality show? Ashton.
Only way is Essex.
The only way is Essex. Correct. Your next question. The second Earl of Essex, Robert Devereux, led an abortive coup d'etat in 1601 against which English? Tony?
Elizabeth I.
It is the right answer. Sticking with Elizabeth I, extremely famous for a first in the world of transport, who had siblings called Rauchlin, Lorraine, Catherine, Otis, Ida, and most famously Wilbur. Ashton.
Right.
Prompt.
Or the Orville right.
Orville right.
I thought you had to go quickly.
What name is shared by a Grammy Award winning singer whose real name is Orville and a cartoon character whose given name, Tony?
Shaggy.
Whose given name is Norville. It is Shaggy. The TV series Shaggy Dog's Story was released in 1999 by the BBC in an effort to raise funds for which charity? The charity in question had its first BBC telethon in 1980. Tony. Oh, Tony, good tide.
Well, I'm going for comedy relief.
I'm going for children need.
Tony's correct.
I'm out.
No, it wasn't the end of the question. So.
Please.
In 2009, the Children in Need mascot Pudsey Bear was joined by a female companion.
Blush.
Blush is her name.
Simon 7, Steve Kidd's on 1, Tony 16, Ashton 16.
Moving on. Blush or rosé wine is very popular in the UK. Which country is the largest producer of the wine? Ashton.
Portugal.
Incorrect.
Mike.
Simon.
Chile.
Incorrect. Which country is the largest producer of a blush wine called White Zinfandel, which accounts for over 10% of the wine sold in that country? Tied. So.
What are the odds? Well, I'm going for South Africa.
I'm going for South Africa.
It is the USA. So
Nothing away from those.
nothing away from anything like that. Moving on from the USA.
A draw and nobody right. Nobody.
Two states of the USA have never recorded a temperature of over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Unsurprisingly, Alaska is one. Which state, the southernmost in the USA, is the other? Kid.
Well, the southernmost state is Hawaii.
It's the right answer. Never recorded a temperature over 100 degrees.
Till this morning, probably.
Till this morning.
What?
Till this morning, probably.
Apparently the winds prevent it going over 100 degrees. Both names required. Scott Carn plays Detective Danny Williams in the remake of Hawaii Five-0. His father James Carn was nominated for an Oscar.
Scott Carn.
No.
Tony eliminated.
Oh, that's true.
Okay. Scott Carn was in the question. First thing I said. Scott Carn, his father James Carn was nominated for an Oscar for playing which character in the original Godfather film? Both names required.
Question over.
Question over? No?
I'll go now.
Anyone else?
I'm going to go for Danny Corleone.
It's Sonny Corleone.
It's Sonny Corleone, yeah. Introduced in 1963, Sunny Delight is a product which caused much controversy in the UK after reports of a girl turned her skin what colour? Kid.
Orange.
Orange is the right answer. Opened in 1937, this is painted international orange. Which structure links Marin County, California to nearby Ashton?
Golden Gate.
Golden Gate Bridge is correct.
Come on, Ashton.
Simon 7, Steve 5, Ashton 18.
See, you got applause from the audience.
In which decade was construction started on the Brandenburg Gate? There's your gate connection. In the same decade, Carl William Scheele discovered tungsten, Immanuel Kant publishes his Critique of Pure Reason, the Montgolfier brothers take their first man, Steve.
1870s.
Unfortunately, that's not right.
Oh! Come on!
Immanuel Kant publishes his Critique of Pure Reason. The Montgolfier brothers take their first manned balloon flight. Benjamin Franklin invents bifocal glasses. The first edition of the Daily Universal Register is published, which later becomes the Times. Mont Blanc is first climbed and George Washington is named as the first president of the... Simon?
1780s.
1780s is correct.
Simon's on 9, Ashton 18. That's all we have left.
Moving on from the 1780s. Born in 1780 in Norwich, England, her maiden name was Gurney. Which English prison reform was seen on the back of the Ashton?
Right.
Elizabeth Fry is correct.
Ashton's 2 questions away.
In which 1966 film did Dr. Orlando Watt, played by Kenneth Williams, utter the immortal line, "Frying tonight," as he sang into a boiling vat in his death? Simon?
Carry on screaming.
Carry on screaming is correct. Carrie, Samantha, Charlotte, Ashton.
Sex and the City.
No.
Down to his last life.
Played by Cynthia Nixon, who's missing from this famous foursome, as seen in the TV show Sex and the City.
Is the question finished?
This question's now finished, yeah?
Okay. Mary.
No, it is Miranda. Moving on. A warning given to all people placed in custody in the USA. The Miranda warning tells imprisoned people about their rights in this situation. Yeah, Simon.
It's the Fifth Amendment, right to remain
Warn
silent.
against the self-incrimination under which amendment is the fifth?
It's not working.
You might.
Yeah, we're alright.
Yeah. Benedict Cumberbatch plays which individual in the 2013 film The Fifth Estate? The individual in question has been housed in the London branch of the Ecuadorian Embassy since Ashton.
Assange.
Julian Assange.
22 points for Ashton, 1 question away.
Answer.
Don't screw up now.
Number required. Proposed by Julius Caesar in 45 BC, the Julian calendar remained in use until 1852, when which Pope introduced a calendar which bears his name. Number required.
It's a free question
Three
away.
guesses, yeah. Ashton?
Gregory the 4th.
No.
Gregory the Ninth.
Gregory the 13th.
Gathered them together, we got there.
Moving on from Gregory the 13th. Separating the two books of Kings from the book of Ezra in the Old Testament. The 13th and 14th books of the Old Testament are the second and first books of what? Simon.
Chronicles.
Chronicles is correct.
Simon still needs over 5 questions up.
Sam's got 3 lives.
He's got 2 lives left.
Yeah, but because of you drawing with me, I need an extra question. Not that many
Moving
people-
on from Chronicles. In C.S. Lewis's Chronicles of Narnia, what is the surname of the 4 children who journey...
Well,
Simon.
Pevensey.
Pevensey is correct. Named as a site of special scientific interest, in which South Coast county can you find the Pevensey levels? Simon.
East Sussex.
Is correct.
Close. 19 points for Simon.
Run at a racecourse in the county. The Sussex Stakes is a Group 1 race. Simon.
Goodwood.
Prompt.
Goodwood Festival. Goodwood Summer Meeting.
No, I'm afraid it's not. The Sussex Stakes is a Group 1 race held during which specific 2-word race meeting, Ashton? Glorious.
Every Lightspeed quiz / Q12 meeting we have several events. We have a special, we have a Lightspeed quiz, we have a Q12. And I've got to say that Dave Bill is just an exceptional, wonderful day. Congratulations, Ashton. You don't have to pay another fiver ever. You're in the final in December for £500. Who knows what else we've got? We're quizzing. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Mike.